More information is now emerging after the Trump regime's Border Patrol Gestapo fatally shot a 37-year-old man in Minneapolis today. We are learning the identity of that man as the Trump regime goes into full cover-up mode. Donald Trump has made some of the most heinous and despicable posts this morning. So has Stephen Miller, so has ICE, and so has Border Patrol. In addition, Department of Homeland Security has taken over the investigation and has even moved the FBI away from this investigation, and they're trying to block the FBI and local and state officials from conducting an investigation. The victim has now been identified. His name is Alex J. Pretti, 37 years old, of South Minneapolis, brutally murdered by Donald Trump's Border Patrol Gestapo, led by Greg Bovino. Alex J. Pretti had no criminal record. He worked as an ICU nurse for the VA. He was a legal gun owner. He had a permit for concealed carry of his firearm, which is what he appeared to be doing when this shooting took place, when he was killed in cold blood by Donald Trump's ICE Gestapo. He was not brandishing a weapon. He had a cell phone, and he was videotaping ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo terrorizing the communities in Minneapolis and St. Paul. When he was approached by the Border Patrol, beat by the Border Patrol, bludgeoned and pistol whipped by the Border Patrol. While he was on the ground, he appeared to be pepper sprayed. He was repeatedly pummeled before he was shot over and over again by Trump's Gestapo. You heard about 10 to 11 shots that were fired. Utterly, utterly horrific. Say his name, Alex J. Pretti. Say her name, Renee Nicole Good. This Trump Gestapo is out of control. They are on a rampage, terrorizing communities, killing people in cold blood. Now, Dimitri Jakonja, a doctor who is a colleague of Alex Pretti, posted the following. Alex Pretti was a colleague of ours at the VA. We hired him to recruit for our trial. He became an ICU nurse. I loved working with him. He was a good and kind person who lived to help, and these effers executed him. Alex, from our time working together while he was in nursing school. Later, he moved to ICU, working as a nurse to support critically ill veterans. He had such a great attitude. We'd chat between patients about trying to get in a mountain bike ride together. We will never now because of Trump's evil and despicable Gestapo. Speaking of evil and despicable terrorists, Stephen Miller posted the following. This is what he said about Alex J. Pretti. He said, a domestic terrorist tried to assassinate federal law enforcement. And this is your response? You and the state's entire Democrat leadership team have been flaming the flames of insurrection for the singular purpose of stopping the deportation of illegals who invaded the country. One day, Stephen Miller needs to be tried in The Hague for crimes against humanity. What a despicable piece of shit Stephen Miller is, and excuse my language, but what a vile piece of trash that terrorist scumbag is, and how dare he post this. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, writes, filming federal agents is only domestic terrorism to fascists. Now, what another vile piece of trash posted today. Here's what Donald Trump posted moments ago as the cover-up from this despicable authoritarian regime continues. Donald Trump posted the following. Among other things, this is a cover-up for the billions of dollars that have been stolen from the once great state, but soon to be great again, Minnesota, President Donald J. Trump. Then Donald Trump posts a photo of a gun and says the following. This is Donald Trump's view, and this is how they're trying to spin things now. And you all know that Alex Pretti was a legal gun owner. He had a legal permit to conceal carry. There's something called the Second Amendment. I guess for the MAGA Republicans, what the Second Amendment means is that it enables school shootings with semi-automatic weapons, and they're okay with that. But when the Second Amendment is actually being used for its lawful purpose with legal holders of firearms, then I guess the Trump regime says those are domestic terrorists, and by you owning a gun lawfully, you get shot in the face if you're an ICU nurse helping our veterans. How shameful is this regime? Here's what Donald Trump posted moments ago. This is the gunman's gun, loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go. What is that all about? Where are the local police? Why weren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? The mayor and the governor called them off. It is stated that many of these police were not allowed to do their job, that ICE had to protect themselves. Not an easy thing to do. Why does Ilhan Omar have $34 million in her account? And where are the tens of billions of dollars that have been stolen from the once great state of Minnesota? We are there because of massive monetary fraud with billions of dollars missing and illegal criminals that were allowed to infiltrate the state through the Democrats' open border policy. We want the money back, and we want it back now. Those fraudsters who stole the money are going to jail where they belong. This is no different than a really big bank robbery. Much of what you're witnessing is a cover-up for this theft and fraud. The mayor and the governor are inciting insurrection with their pompous, dangerous, and arrogant rhetoric. Instead, these sanctimonious political fools should be looking for the billions of dollars that has been stolen from the people of Minnesota and the United States of America. Let our ICE patriots do their job. 12,000 illegal alien criminals, many of them violent, have been arrested and taken out of Minnesota. If they were still there, you would see something far worse than what you're witnessing today. No, you went into peaceful communities in Minneapolis and St. Paul and surrounding cities and towns and terrorized and tortured the communities, gassing them with carcinogenic green gas, pepper spraying, flash bangs, and shooting people in their face and shooting people repeatedly, ripping away 5-year-olds, kidnapping from their families, wearing blue bunny caps, kidnapping 2-year-olds from their families. This is a terrorist regime. And you see Donald Trump's statement saying, oh, they're inspiring insurrections right now. No, Donald, you are the criminal. You are the felon. You are the sexual abuser. You are the predator. And America despises your fascist regime. California Governor Gavin Newsom just posted the following. You're seeing what's happening on American streets. This is a police state. Speak up, show up, use your rights peacefully. Now, Greg Bavino, who heads the Border Patrol, held a press conference, and he again smeared and defamed Alex Pretti. And he said, oh, what Pretti was trying to do was he wanted to massacre law enforcement. This looks like a situation where the individual wanted maximum damage, and we stopped a massacre. No, you didn't. He was videotaping what was taking place. And again, what a Putin-esque, dystopian, authoritarian regime this is. This police state, and we need to speak up right now. Here, play this clip.
The suspect also had 2 loaded magazines and no accessible ID. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
Governor Walz held a press conference moments ago where he talked about the individual who was murdered. Say his name, Alex Pretti, murdered by the Trump Gestapo. And Governor Walz says this was someone who had a lawful firearm, a concealed permit carry, someone who with no criminal record, who was shot in cold blood and murdered by the Trump regime. Play this clip.
This is critically important. All of us understand what happened this morning and the tragedy of it, and my deepest sympathies to the family of a 37-year-old Minnesota resident, a lawful firearm concealed permit carrier, something that I've been lectured to by Republicans for decades. It is not only right, it's your duty. We know that the potential to further inflame tensions is high, and to Minnesotans, there's a difference. We want calm and peace and normalcy back to our lives. They want chaos. We cannot and we will not give them what they want by meeting violence with violence.
Governor Walz goes on to talk about how Minnesotans are keeping notice of what's taking place and building a log of who to prosecute in the Trump regime after this. Play this clip.
Stay that way, Minnesota. Minnesotans are witnessing, and we're creating a log of evidence for the future prosecution of ICE agents and officials responsible for this.
And Governor Walz says enough is enough. Play this clip.
They've written the narrative already, and the audacity to critique the police chief of Minneapolis after what work that those heroic officers are trying to do, and to be critiqued by this guy. I mean, I don't know, I've said it a lot, but America, as you're listening, enough is enough. Enough is enough of this. End this. End this. And we see them moving to Maine. If you're in Boston, you're in Chicago, you're in Philly, you're in Miami, it doesn't matter. We can't live like this. Our children are in trauma. A 5-year-old, you saw the picture, the bunny hat and the Spider-Man. Is there not like some narrative to throw around, to parade around in some coat you had made and act like you're a tough guy or whatever? These are people's lives, and we have rule of law. So I'll let the investigation play itself out. We will do our best to find it, but I don't know, you kill a man and then you just leave your law enforcement, you just leave him. Is there a single case in American history where you just like walk away and say, I guess that just happened and we're not going to clean up our mess? I'm proud of Minnesotans. I'm proud of law enforcement here and our partners, and we'll get to the bottom of it. I think we have time for another one. So yes, ma'am.
But at the same time, state regime media, which calls itself Fox, was in full gear with its propaganda, and they kept on repeating over and over again, this is what we voted for. Play this clip.
Minnesota is part of America. The country voted for this.
Yeah.
These laws are on the books, and I don't see any level of cooperation despite what they say.
Well, it's clear.
Well, I had our team here at the MeidasTouch Network pull Kristi Noem's prior speech at the NRA. Remember what she said in 2023 and what all these Trump regime propaganda said about the Second Amendment? I guess for them, the Second Amendment is a license to go to deal with school shootings, and they don't care about that. But when it comes to actually how the Second Amendment is supposed to be utilized, now they're calling Alex Pretti a domestic terrorist. Watch what Kristi Noem said back in 2023. Play this clip.
And a White House that is so hell-bent on grabbing power and control of your life, they will do anything and not stop at absolutely nothing to take it away. They will even take away your last tool of defense. The Second Amendment is about deterrence. It's about ensuring the government respects the rights and the liberty of citizens. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of a people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
And here's what Governor Walz said moments ago in response to a question. They killed a man and they created chaos. Here, play this clip.
Saw this. They killed a man, created chaos, pushed down protesters, threw gas indiscriminately, and then left the scene, and then we're left to clean up. I understand the anger. I understand trying to parse who were the law enforcement on the scene when you got there after a man was killed is difficult for folks who are out there. But I can't stress enough, our goal, and I'll have General Minke talk about what the role of these Guard troops are in conjunction with incredible work from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, from mutual aid across, and of course the State Patrol, of trying to get to the point where what we're saying is we can handle this and Minnesotans can express their First Amendment rights and have our folks on the streets and get these people out of here. And so, Sean, if you want to talk a little bit, but the answer is yes, there's activated. He can talk to you about numbers.
Now, we're also seeing statements that were issued from ICE and Border Patrol, all lies, the same type of propaganda spewing from Donald Trump. Border Patrol wrote, Border Patrol agents are trained extremely well to protect themselves, their fellow agents, and innocent third parties. When a supposed peaceful protester brings a weapon, such as a loaded handgun, and brandishes it, there are going to be severe consequences and repercussions. So what they're saying is that if you have a legal permit, if you have concealed carry in a state that allows that ICE and Border Patrol will kill you. They will shoot you in the face in this police state that is the Trump regime. Homeland Security also posted a completely fabricated message. They go, at 9:05 a.m. Central Time, as DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault, an individual approached the U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. Seen here, the officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. We all know that is 100% a lie. The same way they lied about Renee Nicole Good, the same way they defamed the parents of the little children, the little boys and girls, Chloe and Liam, who they kidnapped. This is what this authoritarian fascist regime does every single damn day. And we, the people, need to be fed up about this crap. We, the people, need to stand up to this crap, because this should never happen in this United States of America. Stop normalizing that piece of trash in the Oval Office. Stop normalizing that piece of trash who's out there killing our people and covering up child sex trafficking rings. We owe it not just to ourselves, our families, our communities, our country, and the world, but to future generations. What side are you on right now? Be very clear about that, and do not betray our nation, our country, our future generations, and our world. Thank you for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.